Welcome to Snap Pest Solutions. We offer two really helpful services. We do general pest control on both homes as well as businesses. We also offer weed and feed, so fertilization, weed control. Now, I'm going to take just a few minutes and explain what these services are, how they work, and the benefit that they'll be to you. Let's go ahead and start with general pest control. Now, I'm going to explain how we do pest control on a residence, but we also, like I said, treat for businesses, so if that's of interest, give us a call. What we do is we try to keep out all the bugs so they don't get in the house or on the house or even around the house. And here in the Grand Valley, we don't have a ton of pests, but there's enough pests that people find that it's beneficial to do pest control periodically throughout the year. So the most popular service that we offer is a seasonal pest control service where we come out spring, summer, and fall, so 3 times throughout the year, and we treat the exterior of the home. Now what we do is we treat what's called a perimeter. We do what's called a perimeter treatment. So it's a foundation treatment that goes all the way around the house. We do about 3 feet up and 3 feet out. So it's a really solid 6-foot barrier that goes, like I said, all the way around the house. What that does is it just creates this impenetrable barrier where anything that crawls won't be able to get on or in the house. So spiders, ants, crickets, anything like that, they're not going to be able to get into the house because wherever they, whatever point they try to get into the house, they have to cross that barrier. Now, the nice thing about that barrier is it will last for about 2 months or so. And so, like I said, we come out spring, summer, and fall, and that usually does a pretty good job at keeping all the bugs out of the house, off the house, away from the house. However, besides just the perimeter treatment, we also go above and beyond. So the next couple things that I mentioned here are things that other companies typically don't offer. We also treat the eaves. So we use a liquid product to put on the eaves, and that'll make it so wasps can't get up in the house, get up on the house, and build their nest. Nobody likes wasp around the house. Nobody wants to get stung. Certainly don't want your children to get stung or your pets to get stung. So we put a product on the eaves, and it'll make it so insect pests like wasp can't get up there. It will also help out with spiders that are already on the house or that perhaps get on the house from trees. So sometimes spiders might be able to bypass the barrier by crawling on the trees and then swinging down onto your house. It doesn't matter if they get on the house from the top. We've got a barrier on the eaves as well. And then besides that, we also do a web away service. So anything that's built up on the house, we have some equipment that we can get all those cobwebs and we can take down wasp nests and things like that. So unless you've got a 4 or 5 story house, there shouldn't be any problem getting up to the top. Pretty efficient at getting those down. And then the next thing that we do is we also treat away from the house, about 30 feet out away into the yard. Now, a lot of the homes here in the Grand Valley have a zero-scape yard. So if that's the case, we treat out there with liquid, and it's really nice because it gets rid of things like crickets and ants out in the yard. Now, crickets especially, you don't want those around your house. Some people think that, Jiminy Cricket is a little, it's kind of a romantic figure. But the thing is, crickets carry just as many diseases and just as much bacteria as cockroaches. So you don't want them in your yard. You don't want your kids to have access to them, and you don't want your pets to be able to eat them. If a pet eats a cricket, it's very likely that pet, that dog, is going to develop some sort of a parasite like a worm or something like that. So you don't want those anywhere around the house. Now, here in the Grand Valley, we get a lot of crickets in the warmer months, so July, August. The product that we put down here will make it so crickets can't live out there. So it just creates this really nice bug-free barrier. It will also help out to a great extent with mosquitoes. Obviously, nobody wants mosquitoes around the house. So it'll get rid of all of those all the way around the house. Now, if you have turf around the house, then we put down granules instead of a liquid product. We use granules that work really, really well in the turf. So again, it gets rid of things like crickets, spiders, ants, things like that. Now, if you have any special concerns, we can probably treat them depending on what they are, but 99% of pest activity, we can get rid of them. So if you have, a really high concentration of ants or something like that, give us a call. We'll get you all fixed up. Now, the main kinds of pests that we treat for are ants, spiders, mice, crickets, and wasps, although we treat for pretty much any kind of insect pest as well as rodents. So that's what we offer. It's a really thorough service. It's really, really affordable. So give us a call. Depends on the size of your house, but we'll get you a quote, and we'll come out and we'll take care of your house and do a really good job. We're also a local company, and so you'll really like working with us. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is weed and feed. So this is fertilization and weed control on turf. Now, first off, there's nothing greater than having a really nice lawn, just a really vibrant, dark green, healthy, beautiful lawn that's weed-free, that doesn't have bugs in it. Well, that's what we can do for you. Essentially, in order to have a really good lawn, one of the most important factors is fertilization. Your lawn has to have food and nutrients in order to maintain a really beautiful look. Now, the main fertilizer is nitrogen, but then there's zinc, magnesium, sulfur, iron, potassium, a whole slew of different vitamins and nutrients that your lawn needs in order to thrive and do really well. What we do is we create this solution, so this great big tank with a liquid product, and we come out and we apply it to the lawn, and it just gives your lawn all the food that it needs to be really, really healthy and to look really, really good. So that's what we do for you. It will also get rid of all the weeds. Now, liquid fertilizer and weed control works way better than granules, much better than anything that you can get at the store. Granule products are inherently inferior because they can't coat a weed, and so they can't have as much effect on a weed, whereas a liquid, it just uniformly is applied to the entire lawn. So liquid fertilization weed control is going to do a lot better than the granules that you can spread. You can get a lot more uniform color, like you can see here, just a really beautiful uniform lawn. That's what we can do for you. Now, the great thing about weed control or weed and feed is that it's really inexpensive. It's based on the size of the lawn, and so if you have a really big lawn, it'll be a little bit more. But it really doesn't cost that much more to have my company do it professionally as opposed to what it would cost you to go down to Lowe's and buy the stuff and get it and do it on your own. I buy all my products in bulk. I buy thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of products all at the same time, so I get a huge discount. If you just go and buy, the consumer retail price, it's going to end up being about the same price. So you might as well have me come out and do it. It'll look a lot nicer. You won't have to do it. The liquid works much better. And like I said, the biggest thing is that you don't have to hassle with it. Now, the one thing about fertilizer is frequency. In order to have a really good lawn, you want to have it treated about every 6 to 7 weeks. So it ends up being about 5 or 6 times throughout the summer. Here in the Grand Valley, it usually ends up being about 6 feedings throughout the year. And it's really important to do all 6, and I'll show you why. So this diagram shows kind of a cross-cut section of what your lawn can look like if you feed it 1 time as opposed to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times. So if you don't feed your lawn very much, you can see here that you'll have a really shallow root system. That's really bad because your lawn won't be very resilient against drought or pestilence. Bugs will really harm it. Molds and funguses can really wreak havoc on it, and you'll get patchy spots. Plus, you'll be able to see that it has weeds in it. Now, the more you feed it, you can see the less weeds you get, and it's just the grass will start to become a lot more thick. And if you feed it 4 or 5 times or 5 or 6 times, you might not notice a huge difference on the surface of the lawn, but what will make the biggest difference is the depth of the root system. And that's really important, especially here in the Grand Valley, because water is of concern. And so if you are consistent starting in March feeding your lawn, you'll have a much deeper root system. And so if there's ever a shortage of water, when it hits 100 degrees in the summertime, your lawn will still maintain its vibrant look because of the depth of its root system. So it's really important to do 5 or 6 feedings. Now, right now we're doing a discount. If you want to get 1 feeding for free, give us a call and we'll tell you how you can make that happen. But call right now. The number is 970-399-1234. One-stop shop. We can come out. We'll do your weed and feed, and we can also do your pest control. If you'd like pest control done on your business, we can take care of that for you as well. But again, Snap Solutions, great company, local, really easy to work with. We do a fabulous job. Our prices are the best in the market. Give us a call, 970-399-1234.